Welcome to the Ultimate Sports Blog Podcast. Today is Friday, May 25th, 2018. Today I'm going to recap last night's Game 5 between the Warriors and the Rockets and look ahead to tonight's Game 6 between the Cavs and the Warriors and pick it. I'll go over yesterday's baseball games, look at today's games, go over the worst MLB moves of the offseason and the non-moves as well, go over a big Major League Baseball suspension that I forgot to mention yesterday, my NHL mock draft, and last but not least, I'll pick the Stanley Cup Final on today's podcast. All right, here we go. The Rockets defeat the Warriors 98-94 to take a 3-2 series lead. The big story in this game is that in the final minute of the game, Chris Paul pulled his hamstring, and now there's speculation whether he'll be back in the series or not. And there's everybody talking that the Warriors are probably going to win this in 7, but we'll see. Chris Paul said last night that he's okay. Maybe he does play in Game 6. Who knows? Kevin Durant, 29 points in defeat for the Warriors. Eric Gordon put up 24 in the win. Chris Paul was incredible before he got hurt, and I cannot wait to see how this plays out. Game 5 will be tomorrow night, and I'll pick it on tomorrow's podcast. Speaking of games, you have Game 6 tonight between the Celtics and the Cavs. 8:30, ESPN, Mike Breen, Mark Jackson, Jeff Van Gundy, Doris Burke. Will this be LeBron James' last game in a Cleveland Cavalier uniform, or will the Cavaliers force a Game 7? I'm going to say that the Cavaliers force a Game 7 because LeBron's going to put his team on his back. The pressure's going to be solely on the Cavaliers. I think this game will be the most fun and closest game of the series so far. Give me 114-110 Cavaliers. Final. And Game 7 is supposed to be Sunday night. And if we do have a Game 7, which I am predicting, I'll pick that on Sunday's podcast. No hockey to go over today, so go right to baseball. The Reds defeated the Pirates 5-4 as they improved to 18-33. The Pirates dropped to 27-22. Luis Castillo with the win, Ivan Nova with the loss, Jared Hughes with the save. Bottom of the third, a grand slam by Eugenio Suarez. 4-0 Reds. Bottom of the fifth, home run Jesse Winker. 5-0 Reds. Top of the sixth, home run David Freese, a 2-run shot. 5-2 Reds. Top of the ninth, a 2-run home run by Austin Meadows. 5-4 Reds is your final. Luis Castillo, 6 innings, 4 hits, 2 earned runs, 2 walks, and 5 strikeouts. Leaves the game with a 5.34 ERA. Castillo's pitching a lot better of late. Ivan Nova, 5 and a third innings, 7 hits, 4 earned runs, 2 walks, and 4 strikeouts. Leaves the game with a 4.96 ERA. The Angels feed the Blue Jays 8-1 as they improved to 28-22. Toronto drops to 23-27. Nick Tropiano with the win. Marco Estrada with the loss. Top of the second, a 2-run single for Martin Maldonado. 2-0 Angels. Top of the third, RBI single Albert Pujols. 3-0 Angels. Top of the fifth, home run Mike Trout. 4-0 Angels. Bottom of the sixth, home run Dwight Smith Jr. 4-1 Angels. Top of the seventh, RBI ground out Justin Upton. 5-1 Angels. Top of the eighth, RBI double Martin Maldonado. 6-1 Angels. Top of the ninth, home run Albert Pujols. 7-1 Angels. RBI single and Jalton Simmons. 8-1 Angels. That's your final. Nick Tropiano, perhaps his best start of the year. 7 and a third innings, 4 hits, an earned run, a walk, and 6 strikeouts. Leaves the game with a 3.86 ERA. Marco Estrada, 4 and a third innings, 7 hits, 4 earned runs, 2 walks, and a strikeout. Leaves the game with a 5.4 ERA. The Orioles feed the White Sox 9-3 as they improve to 16-34. The White Sox dropped to 15-32. Dylan Bundy with the win. Lucas Giolito with the loss. Top of the first, bases loaded walk. Jose Alvarez, 1-0 Orioles. Bases loaded walk. Craig Gentry, 2-0 Orioles. 2-run single, Chance Sisco, 4-0 Orioles. Top of the second, home run Trey Mancini, 5-0 Orioles. Home run Adam Jones, 6-0 Orioles. Bases loaded walk, Chance Sisco, 7-0 Orioles. Top of the third, RBI single Manny Machado, 8-0 Orioles. RBI single Jose Alvarez, 9-0 Orioles. Bottom of the fourth, home run Jose Rondon, 9-3 Orioles was your final. Dylan Bundy, complete game, 9 innings, 2 hits, 3 runs, a walk, and 14 strikeouts. Leaves the game with a 4.45 ERA. The Athletics defeated the Mariners 4-3 as they improved to 26-24. Seattle drops to 29-20, so their winning streak's over. Yusmeiro Petit with the win. Felix Hernandez with the loss. Blake Trean with the save. Top of the first, grounded into a double play as a run scores went out the Mariners. And that was by Nelson Cruz. Bottom of the first, sacrifice fly, Jed Lowry, 1-1. 2-run single, Stephen Piscotty, 3-1 A's. RBI single, Dustin Fowler, 4-1 A's. Top of the second, RBI single by David Freitas, 4-2 A's. Top of the eighth, RBI double, Kyle Seager, 4-3 A's. That's your final. The starter, Josh Lucas, only went 2 innings, 3 hits, and gave up 2 runs and gave up 3 walks and a strikeout. Leaves the game with a 3.12 ERA. The bullpen was great in this game, especially Yusmeiro Petit. 3 innings, 2 hits, no earned runs, no walks, and 4 strikeouts. Leaves the game with a 3.38 ERA. Felix Hernandez, 6 innings, 5 hits, 4 earned runs, a walk, and 2 strikeouts. Leaves the game with a 5.58 ERA. The Astros defeated the Indians 8-2 as they improved to 33-18. Cleveland drops to 24-24. Charlie Morton with the win. Mike Clevenger with the loss. Bottom of the third, a 2-run single by Michael Brantley, 2-0 Indians. Top of the fifth, a 3-run home run by Alex Bregman, 3-2 Astros. Top of the sixth, RBI single Max Stassi, 4-2 Astros. 3-run home run Jake Marisnick, 7-2 Astros. RBI double Alex Bregman, 8-2 Astros. That's your final. Charlie Morton was good again. 6 innings, 5 hits, 2 earned runs, 3 walks, and 5 strikeouts. Leaves the game with a 2.04 ERA. Mike Clevenger was cruising, and he fell apart. 5 in the third inning, 7 hits, 5 earned runs, 3 walks, and 4 strikeouts. Leaves the game with a 3.32 ERA. The Rays defeated the Red Sox 6-3 as they improved to 23-25. Boston drops to 34-16. Blake Snell with the win. Rick Porcello with the loss. Alex Colon with the save. Bottom of the first, fielder's choice, Wilson Ramos, 1-0 Rays. Sacrifice fly, Brad Miller, 2-0 Rays. Bottom of the second, a 3-run single by Wilson Ramos. Run score on the error by Mookie Betts, 5-0 Rays. Bottom of the fourth, RBI single, Matt Duffy, 6-0 Rays. Top of the seventh, RBI ground out, Rafael Devers, 6-1 Rays. Top of the ninth, home run, Mitch Moreland, 6-2 Rays. RBI double, Rafael Devers, 6-3 Rays was your final. Blake Snell, 6 innings, 3 hits, no earned runs, 2 walks, and 8 strikeouts. Leaves the game with a 2.78 ERA. Rick Porcello, not a good outing at all. 3 2/3 innings, 8 hits, 4 earned runs, 2 walks, and 2 strikeouts. Leaves the game with a 3.74 ERA. His pitch count was pretty high as well. The Royals defeated the Rangers 8-2 as they improved to 17-33. The Rangers dropped to 20-32. Danny Duffy with the win. Austin Biebens-Dirks with the loss. Top of the second, a 2-run single by Ramon Torres. 2-0 Royals. Top of the fifth, 2-run single Salvador Perez. 4-0 Royals. Top of the seventh, 2-run single Salvador Perez. 6-0 Royals. Top of the eighth, a 2-run double by Whit Merrifield. 8-0 Royals. Bottom of the eighth, RBI single Rugnan Odor. 8-1 Royals. Bottom of the ninth, ground rule double Isaiah Kainer-Falefa. 8-2 Royals was your final. Danny Duffy, 7 2/3 innings, 4 hits, an earned run, 2 walks, and 5 strikeouts. Leaves the game with 6.14 ERA. And Austin Biebens-Dirks, 6 1/3 innings, 8 hits, 4 earned runs, a walk, and 6 strikeouts. Leaves the game with a 5.68 ERA. The Mets defeated the Brewers 5-0 as they improved to 25-21. Milwaukee drops to 31-20. Steven Matz with the win. Zach Davies with the loss. Top of the third, sacrifice fly. Wilmer Flores, 1-0 Mets. Top of the fifth, a 2-run double by Asdrubal Cabrera. 3-0 Mets. RBI single, Wilmer Flores. 4-0 Mets. Top of the seventh, RBI double, Devin Mesoraco. 5-0 Mets was your finals. Steven Matz, his best start of the year. 6 innings, 4 hits, and no earned runs. 3 walks and 3 strikeouts. Leaves the game with a 3.80 ERA. Zach Davies, 4 innings, 6 hits, 4 earned runs, 2 walks, and 2 strikeouts. Leaves the game with a 4.74 ERA. Today's games, you have Giants-Cubs, Derek Holland and Kyle Hendricks. Angels-Yankees, Andrew Heaney and Luis Severino. Blue Jays-Phillies, Sam Gaviglio and Zach Eflin. Cardinals-Pirates, you have John Gann and Joe Musgrove. Braves-Red Sox, Julio Teheran and Eduardo Rodriguez. Astros-Indians, Dallas Keuchel and Corey Kluber. White Sox-Tigers, Reynaldo Lopez and Mike Fiers. Nationals, Marlins, Max Scherzer and Jose Urena. Orioles, Rays, David Hess against Sergio Romo. Royals, Rangers, Eric Skoglund and Mike Minor. Mets, Brewers, Noah Syndergaard and Junior Guerrera. Reds, Rockies, Sal Romano and John Gray. Diamondbacks, Athletics, Patrick Corbin and Sean Manaea. Twins, Mariners, you have Fernando Romero and James Paxton. Padres, Dodgers, you have Clayton Richard against Ross Stripling. All right, now I'm going to go over the worst moves by every team this offseason. Some of them are non-moves. Here we go. Diamondbacks not bringing back JD Martinez. That certainly has hurt them, and it's shown as they've gone 13 of their last 14 games, I believe it is, without a win. Their offense has faltered, and if JD Martinez is on the Diamondbacks, maybe they're running away with the NL West. Braves not upgrading at third base. They brought in Jose Bautista, but that didn't work out. The Orioles not gauging the trade market for Adam Jones and Brad Brock. I know they gauged the trade market for Manny Machado, but they should have done the same with their other veteran players as well. The Red Sox not improving their bullpen, as nobody on their bullpen is reliable outside of Craig Kimbrell. The Cubs signing Yu Darvish instead of bringing back Jake Arrieta. Darvish has not been good this year. Jake Arrieta has. White Sox not gauging the trade market for Jose Abreu. Abreu really doesn't fit with this team long term. I think he's going to be available this summer possibly. I think they should have seen their options this past winter. The Reds not gauging the trade market for Joey Votto. Votto is coming off his best season in years, and the Reds are rebuilding. What if Joey Votto wants to go to a contender? Indians not bringing back Brian Shaw. Shaw's been disappointing for the Rockies, but the Indians' bullpen as a whole has been disappointing all season. Rockies not at least gauging the trade market for Nolan Arenado. It's unclear whether Arenado is going to stay with the Rockies long term or not. So I think the Rockies made a somewhat mistake by not gauging the trade market for Arenado, like the Orioles did at least with Machado. Tigers not trading Michael Fulmer. Michael Fulmer's value is down now. He's been not so good this year, and he had more value last year than he does now. Astros not trading for a proven closer. Yeah, Ken Giles has been pretty solid this year, but he blew that game to the Yankees, and if you want to beat the Yankees again in the playoffs, then you got to go out and get a proven closer like a Kelvin Herrera or somebody like that. So they have until the trade deadline to do it. Royals not gauging the trade market for Kelvin Herrera. I think Herrera's value is going to be higher this summer than it was in the fall, so maybe they made a good move by not trading him, but my argument is that they didn't gauge the market. Say if they gauged the market and nothing was good, you wait until the summer. That's fine. But why didn't you at least gauge the trade market? Like the Orioles did with Manny Machado this past winter. Angels not upgrading a catcher. Yes, Martin Maldonado has been pretty solid for them this year, but I don't know if he's going to be solid for them the whole year. Dodgers not trading for a starter. That certainly has hurt them, as Ross Stripling is being used as a starter now. Clayton Kershaw's on the DL. Marlins not trading JT Realmuto and Justin Bour. They could still do that in the summer, but they could have done that last winter too to even make their team worse. The Brewers not trading for a starter. That certainly has hurt them now, and they certainly have to do it at the trading deadline. The Twins not getting an extra reliever. That's certainly been the case. Fernando Rodney has been okay as their closer. He blew a game at Yankee Stadium, and Rodney can't really be trusted through a whole season. So I'm surprised the Twins didn't at least go out and get somebody else. The Mets signing Jason Vargas. Vargas, that was singly the worst free agent signing of the offseason. That's what that's proved so far. That shutout against the Marlins is solely because the Marlins are just a joke of a team. And that's like a AAA lineup outside of Bour, Realmuto, and Castro. But Vargas has been an atrocity. He seems they can't get anything going in the first inning, it feels like. So, yeah, that's my single worst move of the offseason right there. The Yankees backing out of a deal for Garrett Cole. They almost acquired Garrett Cole last winter, but they failed to pull the trigger because Pittsburgh wanted more. But the Astros got Cole for less than what the Yankees offered. Although Moran's a nice player, but Clint Frazier is a better player, or projects to be a better player than Colin Moran. So this really might come back and haunt the Yankees, especially if the Astros beat him in the ALCS again, and Cole's a big part of it. But then there's the argument of, oh, well, it seems like every pitcher does well in Houston now. Look at Justin Verlander. Look at Charlie Morton. So there's some, speculation that it's more about the team that Garrett Cole's on rather than, oh, did he just need to get out of Pittsburgh? So that's a debatable one. But I'm sure the Yankees are going to go out and trade for a starting pitcher at the trading deadline, whether it's Michael Fulmer if he regains value, Cole Hamels, Madison Bumgarner if the Giants fall out of contention. There's a lot of other options out there. Athletics, not upgrading a catcher. Jonathan Lucroy and Bruce Maxwell. Bruce Maxwell is more of a backup. Lucroy is a player in decline. He's not the same guy as he once was. And the Athletics probably should have gotten a better catcher than that combo now that they look to be a surprise contender in the American League West this year. The Phillies, not signing a veteran for the bullpen. Them, like the Twins, I think should have signed an extra reliever. If the Phillies are to keep pace in this National League pennant race, then they should go out and trade for a veteran bullpen arm to help, because I really don't trust their bullpen outside of their closer. Sir Anthony Dominguez is new, so let's see how he does, but I think the Phils might come back and regret not getting another veteran arm for that pen. The Pirates not trading Josh Harrison. Yes, Harrison is a good player. He might be traded this summer, but they could have traded him last winter when they traded Andrew McCutchen and Garrett Cole. Cardinals not getting another veteran reliever. This is certainly the case. Bud Norris has sort of flamed out as their closer. Greg Holland hasn't been good at all. How come the Cardinals didn't go out and get another veteran arm? I think they'll do that at the trading deadline because I think they'll still be in the hunt in the National League. But they probably should have done that before the season. The Padres not gauging the trade market for Will Myers. Where's Will Myers long-term on this team? Because they have a surplus of outfielders. They signed Eric Hosmer to play first base. Why didn't you at least gauge the trade market for Will Myers? The Giants, thinking that they're a contender still when it's really time to rebuild. This Giants team reminds me of the Phillies from a couple of years ago, and they still had their team of guys like Jimmy Rollins and Cole Hamels and people like that. And, Ryan Howard, Chase Utley. But yeah, the Phillies kept those guys too long, and the only guy that they got value for was Hamels. And then the trade that really helped the Phils as well was trading Ken Giles when his value is at his peak to Houston. That certainly helped them, but San Francisco still has their team together. There's an older roster. And if they're out of contention at the trading deadline, they have to strongly consider trading Madison Bumgarner and Andrew McCutchen. So we'll see. Mariners not getting a top starter. This is going to come back to haunt them, especially now that they're dealing with some internal problems with D. Gordon being on the disabled list, Robinson Cano being suspended. Yeah, Wade LeBlanc did a nice job as their number 5 starter, but how long is that really going to last? The Rays not getting that much for Evan Longoria and Corey Dickerson. Yeah, Denard Span has been a nice player for them. Christian Arroyo is going to be a solid player someday. But Longoria has actually been pretty good on the Giants this year, and Tampa has to be wondering how come we didn't get more for this guy. Corey Dickerson is someone they designated for assignment. He could have been traded for more. The Rangers not signing a first base / DH type of player. Yes, Ronald Guzman's been a nice surprise for them at first base, making good defensive plays and hitting some big home runs. And he's a highly touted prospect as well. But why didn't they at least go sign somebody on a one-year deal that they could at least trade at the trade deadline, like what the Royals did with Lucas Duda? Lucas Duda would have been a nice fit on the Rangers, and in that ballpark, imagine how many home runs Duda would put up in there. Blue Jays not gauging the trade market for Josh Donaldson and Marcus Stroman. The Blue Jays know it's time for a new era, as Vladimir Guerrero Jr. and Bo Bichette are the future of that team. Josh Donaldson is going to be traded this summer for sure. And I think that they should have at least gauged the market for Stroman as well, as his value is high. Nationals not getting an extra reliever. I think this is going to haunt them a little bit. A couple of their guys that they got at the trade deadline last year had regressed a little bit. Doolittle's been fine. Kinsler, I think, has been the one that's regressed. Or they could have went out and gotten a veteran arm for that pen. All right, now my NHL mock draft. I'm just going to say the team and the player, and in a quick little summary. 1, Sabres, Rasmus Dahlin, the defenseman. Best player in the draft. He is a top pair defenseman for the foreseeable future. 2, Hurricanes, Andrei Sesnikov, the winger. Their defense is up and coming and so promising. They need a winger, and Sesnikov is elite. 3, the Canadiens, Philip Zadina, he's a winger too. The Canadiens need young talent. Zadina would be a nice start. He has a talented shot and could be used from anywhere in the offensive zone. 4, the Ottawa Senators, Brady Tkachuk, the winger. The Senators have a ton of needs regardless of what happens with Erik Karlsson. Tkachuk is very talented, and he has improved his skating. 5, the Arizona Coyotes, Adam Bovequist, the defenseman. The Coyotes have a need on defense, and he's an elite moving defenseman with the puck. 6, Detroit Red Wings, Quinn Hughes, the defenseman. The Red Wings have a lot of needs, although they have some promising young players. Hughes would be a good fit with Detroit, as he can skate like the wind, and he's a top puck mover. 7, Canucks, Oliver Wahlstrom, the forward. The Canucks have a bigger need on defense, but Wahlstrom is too talented for the Canucks to pass up on. 8, the Chicago Blackhawks, Evan Bouchard, the defenseman from London. The Blackhawks have an aging roster, especially on defense. Bouchard would be a solid pick. 9, the Rangers, Noah Dobson, the defenseman. They got rid of Ryan McDonough at the trading deadline and Dan Girardi last summer. They need more defense help. Number 10, the Oilers, Ty Smith, also a defenseman. The Oilers have a need on defenseman. Smith fits the bill. He's undersized, but he can get the job done. 11, the Islanders, Joe Veleno, the forward. The Isles could lose John Tavares this summer, but the hiring of Lou Lamoriello might increase the likelihood he stays. Veleno is a smart player, and he could play 2 ways. 12, the Islanders from the Flames, Joel Fabry, the winger. The Isles take another forward here that possesses an elite shot for his age, and he's a gifted skater. 13, the Dallas Stars, Barrett Hayton, the center. There's some people that think that Hayton is the best two-way center in the draft. Hayton's production is holding him back, though. 14, the Flyers from the Blues, Jet Wu, the defenseman. He's above average when his puck's on the stick. He has great vision, but his hockey IQ is better. 15, the Panthers, Rasmus Kupari, the center. The Panthers don't have that many needs, but Kupari would be a nice fit. He's skilled and has some of the best hands in the draft. 16, the Avalanche, Vitali Kravtsov, the winger from Tratgor. For his age and the level of competition he plays, and he's a really good defender. He needs to continue to grow, but his talent and uses and speed gets him in a good position, and he generates good offense. 17, the Devils, Bode Wild, the defenseman. The Devils really don't have a need at defense, but passing up on a talent like Wild would be hard. He's competitive, and he has a good shot, and he's only 18 years old. 18, the Blue Jackets, Ryan Merkley, the defenseman. The Jackets don't have any needs, but Merkley would be a nice fit. He's a boomer bust prospect. Has the most offensive upside of all the defensemen in the draft. 19, the Flyers, Matthias Samuelsson. He's a defenseman too. There are a lot of talented offensive defensemen in this year's draft, but Samuelsson isn't as flashy or talented. He takes care of the puck in his own end, and that's what he's known for. 20, the Los Angeles Kings, Isaac Lundstrom, the forward. Lundstrom won't blow by anybody with his blinding speed, but he's talented. He's versatile, and he has powerful strides that make him hard to knock off the puck. 21, the Sharks, Saron Noel, the winger. Noel's one of the elite wingers in terms of first-round prospects. He's strong offensively. He has good hands, a great shot, and he can score a lot of goals. 22, the Senators from Pittsburgh. Jesperi Kotkaniemi, the center. He's very young, and he's a good skater and offensive player, but needs to grow his defensive positioning. 23, the Ducks, Ryan McLeod, the center. The Ducks really don't have that much needs, although I think they'll have a roster shakeup this summer. McLeod's a nice fit here. He can create chances everywhere on the ice with his elite skating ability. He can stick handle through anybody on the ice at any time. 24, the Minnesota Wild, Akil Thomas, the center. Thomas can put it up points in bunches. One of his best attributes is his work ethic, with and without the puck, and he's responsible in all three zones. 25, the Toronto Maple Leafs, Georgi Diantsenko, the winger. He projects as a high-end scorer, but will be less generous with the puck on the attack. And he's able to take games over, or at very least looks like one of the best players on the ice each time he steps on the ice. 26, the Rangers from the Bruins, Jared McIsaac, the defenseman from Halifax. He's a great skater. He can carry the puck out of his own zone. He can recover quickly. 27, the Blackhawks from the Preds, Ty Dellandrea, the center. He's versatile. His best attribute is skating with the puck on his stick. And he's one of the better ones at this in this draft class. 28, the Rangers from Tampa Bay, Benoit Olivier Garreau, and he's a center. He's not a bad skater, but he has to work on acceleration. His shot's great. 29, the Blues from the Jets, Alexander Alexiev, the defenseman. He's a big Russian import, a rangy defender with footwork. He can transport through the neutral zone in a few strides. 30, the Washington Capitals, Dominic Bach, the wing. The Caps probably have a bigger need on defense, but they take Bach here to bolster their forward prospect crops. He's shredded international competition and closer to the league than people think. 31, the Detroit Red Wings from the Vegas Golden Knights, Keandre Miller, the defenseman. Miller falling this far would be a steal for the Wings. He's a bit of a project, but a lot of young defensemen struggle. But not him. His best attribute is his defensive play, and he will only get better. A couple quick things before I go. Wellington Castillo was suspended for PEDs, 80 games. That's a big blow for the White Sox offense. He would have been my pick for the best move for the White Sox this offseason, but he got suspended, so I couldn't pick that. And last but not least, I'm going to pick the Stanley Cup Final right now. You have the Vegas Golden Knights out of the West, the Washington Capitals out of the East. This is going to be such a great final, so many great storylines. George McPhee, the GM of the Golden Knights, he used to be the GM of the Capitals, and they let him go a couple of years ago. I believe it was in 2013. So it's George McPhee against his old team. That is probably the most interesting storyline here. The Golden Knights are great, and nobody thought the Golden Knights would be in the final, let alone the playoffs, before the season started. Gerard Gallant is a lock for Coach of the Year, which is the Jack Adams Award. And they are really great offensively, led by William Karlsson, Jonathan Marchessault, David Perron, and Riley Smith. Their defense is solid. Nate Schmidt, Shea Theodore, Colin Miller, Braden McNabb. Marc-Andre Fleury's the favorite for the Conn Smythe Trophy right now. The Capitals are great offensively. Alex Ovechkin. You have Evgeny Kuznetsov, Nicholas Backstrom, TJ Oshie. The Caps are solid defensively too. John Carlson, who's in a contract year. Dmitry Orlov, Matt Niskanen, and Brooks Orpik. And Braden Holtby being switched in Game 3 against Columbus as the starter over Philip Garbauer might go down as the best decision in Washington Capitals franchise history, especially if the Capitals are able to beat the Golden Knights here. Like I said, this is going to be a great series, but I think it's destiny for the Golden Knights. Give me Vegas in 7 as Alex Ovechkin's denied of his first Stanley Cup in his career, as Marc-Andre Fleury will win his 3rd straight Stanley Cup, and he will win the Conn Smythe Trophy. Give me the Vegas Golden Knights in 7 games over the Washington Capitals. That's it for today's podcast. I'll be back tomorrow recapping Game 6 between the Caps and the Celtics, all the baseball action, and whatever news goes on in the sports world. I hope you guys have a great day, everybody.